It's Friday, May 23rd, about 6 p.m. Pacific time, and I want to share some really good news from today. Also, a really shining example of how you respond to a narcissistic tyrant like Donald Trump. 2 hours ago, the AP posted that a federal judge blocked the Trump regime from cutting off Harvard's enrollment for foreign students. So, in case you're not aware, Harvard has been consistently standing up to the threats and intimidation from Donald Trump. Trump first went for Columbia and they folded real quick. Instead of reaching out to other colleges and universities and saying, hey, let's band together and form a strong coalition and stand up against the illegal things that Trump wants to do, the ways he wants to have access to our student files, the way he is demanding that we dismantle our DEI programs, the ways that he's cutting off federal funding to our researchers. Instead of doing that, Columbia was like, oh no, Trump will give you whatever you want. So the exact wrong thing to do when an authoritarian tries to shake you down is to give in. Appeasement does not work, as Columbia has found out, because the minute you roll over and are like, okay, take some, they'll just keep coming, right? Narcissistic boyfriends and authoritarians, if they smell blood in the water, right, they have seen you roll over, they are going to keep coming and coming. There is no line that is enough for them. And we've watched Columbia repeatedly have Trump come back for more and come back for more. So Columbia did the exact wrong thing. They betrayed the American people, they betrayed their students, and they capitulated. Even though you would think a school full of scholars who are telling the institution that this is not how you win against authoritarianism would know better and would act better. So in response to Columbia bending the knee, Trump was emboldened to go after other institutions. And so he went after Harvard and they said, get fucked. And not only that, but something like 50 schools immediately signed on to a letter of support for Harvard. Because you know what? When you stand up and have courage, other people, and in this case, other schools, other institutions, see you having courage, and they will also find theirs. And they will also come alongside you, and they will hold the line with you. And now I think it's something like more than 240 schools have signed on to support Harvard and to all universally agree to share resources to protect each other from Trump's attacks. Now, you have to know when you stand up to a narcissist that he's going to have his little fit of narcissistic rage. He's going to have a little freak out because he doesn't like being told no, right? He doesn't like having anybody stand up to him. So he's going to attempt to escalate his tactics, to intimidate you further, to bully you further in a desperate ploy to get you to back down. Because their incredibly brittle personalities cannot handle challenges to their fragile grasp on power. They don't have any legitimate claim to power. They don't have any skills with which to rule. And so all they rely on is threats and intimidation because they can't actually handle a direct challenge at all. They need you to back down because if you stand up, you will win. If you stand up and you consistently hold the line and you will not be intimidated, you will win. And they know that. So they're desperate to escalate their tactics to try to scare you into giving up. The only way an authoritarian wins is if you stop fighting. Because Harvard stood up to Donald Trump and they said back in April, over the course of the past week, the federal government has taken several actions toward Harvard's refusal to comply with its illegal demands. So initially, the Trump regime was trying to impose what Harvard called a, quote, unprecedented and improper control over the university. They weren't fucking having it. And so Trump tried to pull $2.2 billion worth of funding from the school and then tried to freeze an additional $1 billion in grants. So guess what Harvard did in response to saying no and then Trump saying, fine, then I'm going to punish you. I'm going to seek retribution against you. They said, okay, fine, we'll see you in court. Trump threatened their tax-exempt status and they're like, cool, we'll see you in court. Again, hundreds of other colleges and universities rose up and say, we stand behind Harvard. Which is exactly what Columbia should have sought out in the beginning, because we find strength in numbers. When we come together in solidarity and we hold the line against fascism, fascism loses. Right? And so Trump is trying to escalate once again. He is just going to increase the intimidation and the threats. He doesn't know how to govern at all. All he knows how to do is be a fragile bully. So yesterday, Trump tried to revoke Harvard's ability to enroll international students in its escalating battle with the school. They said thousands of current students would have to transfer to other schools immediately or leave the country. Department of Homeland Security said that Harvard can no longer enroll foreign students, and existing foreign students must transfer or lose their legal status. That was as of yesterday, where Harvard has 6,800 foreign students on its campus in Cambridge, Massachusetts. A quarter of the student body at Harvard are international students. And guess what Harvard did in response to Trump's threats and intimidation? Did they fold this time? Did he finally push them hard enough that they gave up and backed down? No, they said, we'll see you in court. Lo and behold, late today, a federal judge blocked the Trump regime from barring foreign student enrollment at Harvard. Harvard held the line against the bullying of a fragile autocrat, and today they won. They're consistently winning, and I'm sure Trump is going to flop around and have his little temper tantrum and try and keep escalating even more. But what we are seeing as Harvard consistently stands up and consistently wins is not only are they emboldened, like, keep trying, buddy, but they're also saying, we are going to stand in our values, we're going to stand in our integrity, we are not going to betray our students or the American people. We are willing to absorb the cost of standing up to the authoritarian regime of Donald Trump. We are going to hold the line and look at all of these folks, all of these institutions and regular, ordinary, everyday Americans who are holding the line with us. This is how you stand up to a tyrant. You hold the line. You do not back down. You do not give in to intimidation. You don't give him an inch or he'll run all over you. As long as you keep fighting, as long as you keep standing up, he can't win. And not only that, the longer you stand up and the more that other institutions, the more that regular people see you having courage and see you standing strong, the more they will find their courage as well and come and join you. And the movement will grow stronger. The solidarity will build. The muscle that is required to take down the Trump regime, it'll start flexing. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing Harvard do everything correct. They are doing all of the right things, and they are winning in the courts, and they're winning in the court of public opinion, and they are showing the whole world what happens when you stand up to Trump. That you do it consistently, you don't back down, and that he can't get away with what he's doing. Trump wins when you try to play the appeasement game. Trump wins when you capitulate. There is no appeasing a tyrant. The only way to get through this is to hold the line. The only way to win is to stand strong in your values, stand for the rule of law. Do not give in to that fight or flight response. There's no amount of fawning that you can do that will make you safe under the Trump regime. The way forward to safety, the way forward to the restoration of our democracy, the way forward to freedom is to stand up together. And Harvard is being such a great example of how you do this. Mad props, Harvard. I'm glad for you and your students that you won in court, and I am glad for all of the American people that you are willing to do the right thing. You are showing all of us the courage that we all need to have. You understand what's at stake here. You understand the rules of engagement. Keep it up. And for the rest of us, look to people and institutions who have the courage, and you draw your courage from them. You draw your encouragement from them, and you follow suit. You stand up and you hold the line. Consistent, unified resistance. That is the path to victory.